I'm Marsya and I'll be presenting Task 2 for Application Design 2, and this is all about the hybrid lo-fi mobile app development. So for reference, I've attached the link to the full master plan and storyboard for the app to this presentation document, which has the complete user flow. But for this presentation, we're going to dive straight into the motion breakdown and the specific animations for each screen. I've broken these down into macro and micro interactions, looking at what happens to the onload, on-page, and offload. First up is the launch screen. This is a simple macro animation. The app starts with the orange background and the logo will scale up and fade in at the same time. Then the logo just slowly fades out to transition to the next screen. This is how the animation will look like. So the whole point is to create a smooth loading experience instead of just popping onto a blank screen. It uses the brand to draw your attention and it gives a clean, professional transition into the app. Next is the login screen. This is a micro interaction. The onload is just a standard fade-in, but the important part is the on-page animation. So if a user enters the wrong password or username, the input fields will quickly shake side to side and an error message will appear, like the picture on the right. This is the reference I found from Pinterest. I use the login screens as the main reference since the same animations apply to the sign up screen as well. The shake animation gives immediate visual feedback and it makes the error clear and feel more responsive to users. Moving to the home screen, this one has a few things happening. The heading and the countdown timer fade in while the rest of the feed slides in from the bottom of the screen, which is something like this. The main on-page animation is the next weekly recap timer, which actively counts down and it will animate like this reference. And when you leave the page, the content disappears, but the top and the bottom navigation bars stay fixed. This sequence makes the screen feel really dynamic and responsive, like the app is alive and building the page for you. So for the artist community page, the loading screen is similar. The heading and the search bar and the tabs fade in, while the artist cards slide in from the bottom. The main on-page interaction here is for the tabs. So when you tap between recommended and joined, the content underneath slides left or right. This gives a clear directional feedback and makes the UI feel more organized and easy to navigate. So it will look something like this. When you tap on an artist, you land on their profile screen. So the load animation is the same as the rest of the screens before this. There are two main on-page micro interactions here. So tapping the join button instantly changes its state to joined, and just like the last screen, tapping the tabs for music, merch, or events slides the content left or right. So it will look something like this. This is to just give the user quick confirmation that their action worked. This is still on the artist profile, but specifically on the merch page. There are a few micro interactions here. So first, when the user clicks on a different product image icon, the main image changes. Then second, clicking the add to cart button will change the state of the cart icon. It will also turn orange and it will have the quantity of items that you have currently in your cart. And third, tapping the plus or minus buttons changes the item quantity. So it will look like this. So this is all to give instant feedback, making the shopping experience feel more responsive, and it's to confirm the user's choices. A really big feature is the weekly recap screen, which functions more like a story. So the on-note is that each page of the recap has a slow fade in and also appears to rise from the bottom. The on-page animation is that there's a progress bar at the top, just so you know how far you are. It's similar to Instagram stories. And there will be music based on the user's stats that would play softly in the background. And this is all to make the recap feel more special, and the background music would help to add a personal touch, so it would look like this. And finally, we have the group screen. The onload is a similar fade and rise effect. The key micro interaction here is the on-page animation, which is a little wave graphic animation that appears next to your friends who are currently actively listening to the music right at the moment. So it will look something like this. So that covers the main motion breakdown for the Superfan app. And by using these macro and micro interactions, the goal is to make the app feel more responsive, intuitive, and more engaging. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.